with Backwoods Biker Magazine and Wood Tramp Outdoors. I've got another battle box for you. Mission number 99. Hang tight. All right, guys, welcome back. As I said, I do have mission number 99 in front of me here, but before I get on to that, there's a couple things that I want to do. Number one, I want to give a shout out to our friends down in Lexington, Kentucky, Nick and April. We miss you guys being up here, and Nick recently told me that he's a fan of Battlebox, but I don't think he's a subscriber, so we're going to reach out, Nick, and we're going to make sure that Battlebox sends you a basic box, and hopefully it's this month, but yeah, get into it. It's something to be great for you and your family. Also, numerous emails about Mission 100, and I just wanted to say, I've said this before, but let me reiterate it. Battlebox does not reveal to us what is upcoming. Well, I shouldn't say that. Wouldn't be all the way true, because I do know some of the things that are going to be in future boxes, but I don't know the exact box that something's going to be in. And one thing that we don't do with Battlebox is say, you know, I want to know what's going to be in Mission 100. Please tell me that. I don't do that, and I don't do it for two reasons. Number one, it's just kind of neat for even us to be surprised about what's coming out. And just like you, I don't wait. None of us waits until the box arrives before we find out what's in it. As soon as Brandon Kern 1776 drops his reveal video, we're on it. We're watching it, you know, for a couple of reasons. Number one, for the content that's in there. But, I mean, he is a real pro at what he does. And, you know, the on-off camera guy, the on-camera guy, he really isn't the same as the off-camera guy. He has a very serious business side to him, but he's a cool individual, and I look forward to working with him again in the future. But nonetheless, no, I don't know what's going on with Mission 100 other than the fact that it is going to be epic for sure. And one of the things that Battlebox has decided to do is to put 5 gold tickets inside of the boxes, and it's for current subscribers only. You can't join and expect to get in on this I guess it'd be the June box, and expect to get one of those cards. You can't. But just 5 very fortunate people are going to be chosen and given one of these cards, and they are going to be taken out to a very special undisclosed location at this point, and they're going to have an epic party. They're going to be doing some crazy stuff. They're going to be camping out with the Battlebox crew, going out for dinners and drinks, and there's going to be a chance to win some big prize money, because they're going to put these 5 people one at a time in a military tank. I don't know what tank it is. It might be an Abrams. I don't know what it is. And you are going to get a chance to be able to fire this tank, load it up, aim it up, and shoot it down line, down range, to hit a target. And if you hit that target, you're going to win, I think it's $100,000. So that's going to be a pretty neat thing. So they have done some epic stuff. And the last thing that I want to say is, whenever I wrote about Battlebox joining leagues with an investment firm out of Canada, there was a lot of negative feedback from that, you know, and maybe what we saw in regards to the diminishment of certain things was the cause of that alliance. I don't know that. But a lot of people suggested that, and I just never bought into it. I wouldn't bite, I wouldn't write about it. But the good news is Battlebox has bought back everything, and it's now completely in their hands. And all the people that have worked so hard to make that a stellar company and a great company for you to be able to be confident in, to invest your money and to get the quality of gear that you're desiring. All those guys are in place. And John Roman is still at the helm as the CEO. And I really enjoyed my relationship with John. It's all professional. We've never done anything really fun. Not really, we just haven't. Maybe someday we will. But as a professional, he is one of the finest young men that I have gotten to work with over the course of the history of our magazine. And so kudos to everybody there at Battlebox. John, you're doing a great job, and keep doing so. All right, with all that being said, man, that was a lot to listen to, wasn't it? So anyway, let's get into mission number 99, because there is some really good stuff in here. And I know I keep saying that to you, but they surprise me every month, you know, the things that they do. And this month is no different. So we're going to get into this. This is the mission brief right here. And there are 4 items in the basic box. The basic box is $34.99. The advanced box is $64.99. The Pro box is $119.99, and the Pro Plus Knife of the Month is $169.99 per month. So this is your $34.99. And remember, you're almost doubling your money in every tier. And what you get from this tier, if you go to the next tier, you get both tiers full of gear. So this one starts out with a Battlebox camping tripod. Got a lot of questions about those rings that we showed you how to use to make a tripod, and a lot of folks just couldn't find them, you know, especially if they're living in the city. So you know, when we saw this, we thought this would be the perfect answer to those of you that can't find the rings. But this is a cooking tripod is what it's for. And what you do is you bushcraft yourself 4 poles that will go in here, fit like a tripod, and then this little gizmo with the hook on one end and this spike on the other allows you to lower your pot or whatever you're using to heat up water with, and then you just put this in the last one right there, and it's not going to go anywhere. It's just going to hang right there, and now you're cooking. And all it takes is enough time to be able to cut those 3 poles, cut them about 3 feet high, or ever how high you want, and now you're cooking. It's a great ad to be able to put in your kit. It comes in a very handy little pouch. It's not leather, we'll call it pleather, right? But the advantage of that is it's not going to rot, it's not going to get funky, it won't hold dirt. So that is the first item if you want to be cooking. That's a great one. Second item, this one here really interested me. When I first saw it, I thought, hey, you know, that would make a good IFAK kit. But once we got it in our hands, it was like, nope. I don't recommend this for an IFAK kit because it is just too small, to be honest with you. It won't hold enough of what you need. You know, when you're talking about an IFAK kit, my mind is automatically, you know, bleed. I want to control bleed very, very quickly. And of course, that's going to require a tourniquet, an Israeli bandage, some C-locks. You get where I'm going. This bag is just too thin for that. However, what I can tell you that I'm going to use this for, I won't be passing this on, because as soon as I saw it, got my hands on this, I said, there's going to be my answer to organizing all my batteries, you know, for like my cameras, for my recorders, drones, all my SD cards, all the cables that it requires. I could even fit a small solar powered charger in here. I can fit a battery bank in here. It's got plenty of moly. It's got a high-vis orange on the inside. And it's got moly on the exterior. But that's what it's going to be for me. And I'd like for you to guys put it in the comments down there what you're going to use it for. You know, I had somebody suggest a fire kit. Yeah, you could. But there's a lot of reasons why I wouldn't use this for a fire kit. But I have found what I'm going to use it for. The next thing is, and you know how stoked I am, you just heard me talking about bleeding. Anytime that Battlebox throws something first aid related, especially critical first aid, like stopping these. If you don't know the rule of threes, please get with somebody to teach you to understand them. One of them is that you have 3 minutes. That's only 180 seconds to stop a major arterial bleed, like a femoral artery bleed. You know, if you happen to cut yourself with a knife because you were stupid and drew the knife towards you and you cut that artery, you're in trouble. In 3 minutes, you'll be a dead person if you don't get a tourniquet on there. And really, if you're doing it yourself, you don't even have 180 seconds, because at about 90 seconds, you're going to start to lose your clear thinking. That's why I like to explain it. Your clear thinking. Forget about medical terms. You know, if you're not thinking clear, a lot of bad stuff could happen to you. So always remember that. This month, they put a packet of what is called Bleed Stop. Stop bleeding in seconds. This is like a Celox. You've heard me talk about that a lot because I have witnessed firsthand people that have been saved by the use of Celox. You get a major cut. You're not going to stop an arterial bleed. You got to have other action with that, you know, like a tourniquet. But if it's a gaping wound, you can pour this down in there and then put an Israeli bandage on, or gauze, whatever you got to do. You know, duct tape can hold it in place also, but it will stop the bleeding. And you just can't have enough of this around. And you know, I'm a big advocate of everybody having bleed kits in their vehicles. You know, if you're a motorcyclist, have a bleed kit, man, because you never know. You might go down and your passenger is critically injured, or you might roll up on an accident. Anybody that is doing traveling on the road, especially if you're going on vacations, you should have a bleed kit with you here. So Battlebox, that is great right there. This comes from Bleed Stop, and there's 20 milligrams of this in here. Great stuff. I highly advocate that. Okay, the last item in the basic box this month is the Night Eyes Loopable 2-pack twist tie. They're 24 inches long. You know what a bread tie is? This is bread ties on steroids times 100. These jokers are 24 inches long, and they are made to wrap around anything from cordage to electrical cords, anything like that rope, you know, anything that you might want to do. But what makes these really cool is that there is this hardened plastic loop at the top that you can put through just like this. You can tie these down. Now you've got one, and then you can use the other side to tie up some more. That's pretty cool. We really like these here. This is the first time I've seen this style with the loop on that. I have plenty of these, but the ones with the loops are good. And I don't really use them out in the bush, these 24-inch sizes. Where I use stuff like this is with my music gear. You know that I play music, so like guitar cords or speaker cords, whatever it is. These are great for that. Great. So that's the conclusion of the basic box. You get all 4 of those items in there, and again, you're in it for $34.99, and you've, you know, doubled your money here already. Always the best bang for your buck with Battlebox. All right, let's move on to the advanced box, and this month it is very, very cool here. You know, we always get questioned about whether or not Battlebox puts a knife in a box other than the knife of the month, and yes, they do. And most of the time, they're a middle-of-the-road type of knife, you know, because they got to stay within a budget. They're there to make money also. But every now and then, one will sneak through. And I'm like, how could they put this in this level of a box? And this month happens to be that. This comes from Tactica, and it is, let me see, it's called the K100. Let me see here, yeah. Tactica K100 pocket knife. This is rock solid, man. Let me show you this here. It easily deployable. It's got a tanto point on it. The steel on the knife is D2. The body of the knife is just, I mean, it is just put together super tough. G10 scales that are sculpted to fit your hand, palm of your hand. It's got a nice lanyard hole on the bottom of it. Boys and girls use an orange lanyard so you don't lose your knife out in the bush out there. And it's very, very easy to use, put away, take out, whatever. But it's a perfect weight. It's super sharp. Anything that we've seen from them is always super sharp, you know. And again, you're into this box for $64.99. You get this knife plus everything that's in the basic box. Again, you're doubling your money already with just 2 different boxes. You got 5 items. Great ad on this. Very doubtful that this will be leaving anytime soon, because I would like to take this out and see how it would perform. Is it going to be a match for what I carry with me other than when I leave it over at the bench? That's where it's sitting at right now, my CRKT. But this is a nice knife. I really like this. I'm surprised again that it's in here. But again, Battlebox is going to surprise you every now and then with these knives. And this month happens to be one. So that takes us to the Pro Box, which you're in for $119. And this month, you're going to be surprised with this. This comes from Bushnell. Now, Bushnell is known for their optics, for their camera optics, for their hunting scopes, spotting scopes. They do optics for our military in all branches. But this is not a military type of item, but this is an item that you've seen before, but it's been hopped up quite a bit, man. This thing has got so many features with it. This is called the Bushnell Cellular Trail Camera. It is a trail camera, and it comes with this cellular antenna on it, right? It has a 32 gigabyte memory card with it as well. It takes 12 AA batteries. Yes, I did say 12. I know that's a lot. But listen, what they've done with the technology on this to save battery life is unsurpassed. Batteries on the average will last about 6 months. That's a long time, friend. You know, if I can get my batteries in before winter hits, so I don't have to mess with them until the spring, I'm good. So this will take me from the all the way into the spring, and I'll go back out and be able to do this. Now, not only are these great for watching your hunt stands, your hunting areas, your shooting paths, or whatever, but they're also good to put up for security, which I'm going to do right out here at our base camp we're at. And I want to know what's going on out here at all times, because there's a lot of junk out here, and we've had some nefarious happenings every now and then. And what this will do is it will not only capture what's going on, whether it's wildlife walking through the trail or going up to, you know, whatever you've put out for them to be able to record them, or it is some two-legged fool that is walking through your property looking at your stuff. This will not only capture them, but if you will subscribe to their cellular service through Bushnell for $15 a month, as soon as the camera sees somebody or sees something, it will alert you on your telephone, and you can actually start watching them on the phone. So to me, this is one of those epic ads, if there is such a thing, to a Battlebox. But it definitely is top tier as far as I'm concerned. Again, you're into this level to the Pro Box for $119.99. You get this, you get the tactical knife, and you get all 4 of the items in the basic box. So, you know, you're seeing how the more advanced you go, the higher tiers you go, the more value you get, the more savings that you'll have, the more bang for your buck that you get. Comes with everything you need, including the strap to put it on a tree if that's what you're going to do. I haven't decided where I'm going to put it at yet here, but it's going to be out of the way. I got to be able to see the angle of view, how wide this is, because I didn't find it in here, the angle. I'm sure it'll be on their website though, you know, how wide the lens is. But what a great ad. And that takes us to the Pro Plus box. And this month, the Pro Plus knife is exceptional. And what I mean by that is that it's something that you may not have seen before like this, but this comes from a company called Wahongi Tactical. And I hope that I'm saying that right. You know, a guy puts his name on a knife, he doesn't want you to be jacking it up. So if I did, and then apologize for doing so. This guy's name is Jason Wahongi, I believe, or Jared Wahongi. And he spent a considerable amount of time in the Philippines learning Philippine style knife fighting, becoming very familiar with their blades and what they do and how they feel and how they should perform. And he took all of that knowledge and that experience and built this knife. It's called the Survival Edge Garab. And it is a sweet, sweet looking knife for sure. There it is. And be very careful, by the way. Curran 1776 did point this out, but please don't grab this sheath and then yank this knife out. You'll be picking your digit up off the floor. It's very sharp. What you simply do is grab it through the body of the sheath away from the opening, and you push the top with your thumb and the knife gently comes out. This is a molded sheath. It's not Kydex, but it is a good sheath, and it will definitely hold the knife no matter what you do. And it's got a clip on it. I'm not a fan of these clips, but some people are. It's simple, it's cheap, it's an easy way to get a clip on a knife to be able to put it in a battle box or anywhere else. But when we talk about the knife itself, this has some of the finest design that I've seen in a long time. And they liken this knife, let me see here, fighting, SWAT, survival edge, since Filipinos, okay, here we go. Maori heritage, blah, blah, blah. It really doesn't say here, but there was somebody said it looks like kind of like a parang, you know, and I mean, if you look hard enough, you might be able to find that in some other knives as well. You know, the Nesmuk, you know, look at this. There you can see a little Nesmuk happening in there too. But let's talk about it real quick here. The overall length on it, I believe, is 10 inches, and the blade is 5 inches itself, and the blade is a full tang. I don't know if you can see that from that far away, but it's full tang, very balanced. Yeah, there we go. I wish I could get my fingers out of the way, but it's very balanced, and I'm sure that has to do with his knife fighting skills. It's made out of D2 steel. Now, before you throw up a red flag because I said D2, just remember that D2 today is not the same D2 it was when it was first introduced, and when the knife makers around the world decided they were going to use a real hard steel and they reached for D2. It wasn't made for knives, but they have refined the process. They've got the chemistry right on this, and now D2 provides some of the finest steel for knives that are being made, and I consider this to be a premium knife. We did receive a couple emails and asked, would I recommend this to be a survival knife? Well, it just depends. I mean, yeah, it could do the job. It's got a nice 90-degree spine. It has a great feel to it. The scales are made out of packer wood, and if you're in a pinch and you don't have good tender packer wood, will burn very well. But I mean, this knife looks like it belongs in a display case, to be honest with you. The bolsters on it are mosaics, and the packer wood is highly polished, and you know, it's a beautiful, excuse me, a beautiful knife. I said the bolsters, but the pins are mosaic, and the bolster is, I think that it is a stainless, but it might be D2 also. But it is a very beautiful knife, nice lanyard hole right there. It's hard to beat these things, you know, when they're put together like this. And again, you're into this box for $169.99. You get everything from the Pro Plus box down to the Pro, the Advanced, and then the Basic. All those items for $169.99, doubling your money by the time you get out of the gate. Sometimes it's even more than that. The last thing that I would say is that if you decide that you're going to keep this knife to take out into the bush to process game or to use it as your main EDC, meaning you're going to be building shelters with it, you're going to be doing fire lays with it, you're going to be processing wood, then I would suggest, especially because of the gaming aspect of it, you've heard me say it before, that I am not a fan with scales that are super highly polished, because it's like a pig on ice skates when you get animal fats, blood, anything like that on you, and you try to hold on to this, you could slip and this sucker would cut you very badly. So I would take sandpaper to that, and I know that that's like nails on a chalkboard to some of you. Sorry. That's exactly what I would do if I was going to use this knife as my main EDC. I would sand it down, I would rough it up, I'd put a little bush butter on it to be able to protect it and buff it out. But it would have some bite to it, so I wouldn't hurt myself. But that's your basic, your advanced, your Pro, and your Pro Plus boxes all wrapped up there for the month of May. And mission number 99 next month is that 100th anniversary box, and it's going to be great for those of you that make it to the golden ticket extravaganza. So again, thank you for the emails, Nick. It was good to hear from you, and we will get that box to you sometime this week, so you tell the kids hey and all that type of stuff. So until next time, y'all take care. You ride free, you live free, and always you be safe out there.